YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So today we got an exciting mod. As you can see from the box here, it says OLM. So in this box I actually have a front lip. I've been really wanting to do this to my car for a while now, and today I'm finally going to put it on. So this is actually a front lip that not too many people run, or at least I haven't seen too many people run it. This is what's called the S208 lip. So I'll look up a picture or an image of the S208 WRX STI. So that was a model that only was sold, I believe, only in Japan. You know how we have like the S209 here in the US? The S208 was one before it. So the S208 had this lip. This is not a Subaru OEM part. This is from OLM, which is a Speed's company. So it is similar to the S208 lip. Here I have the front lip. This is the unpainted version. I believe Speed also sells a carbon fiber version of this lip, but obviously, you know, the carbon fiber one is a lot more expensive, and I didn't want to spend that much money on a front lip, especially when this thing's probably going to take a bunch of abuse, since, you know, it sits all the way at the bottom of the car. It gets hit with rock chips and stuff, and on steep driveways or steep hills, you know, the lip is usually what takes most of the beating. So this one wasn't too expensive. I don't remember exactly how much it was. I'll look it up and I'll put it in the description. I'll put the link to this lip if you guys want it, and how much it was. But one thing I really like about this lip is that, one, it's pretty unique. Like, I don't see too many people rocking these lips. Also, I really love the design on the side. So there's like this canard coming off the side looking thing. And it's like really aggressive, so I really like the way that looks. As you can see, it kind of comes up really high up on the sides. And then this is unpainted, or like, you know, just plain like black plastic. So in order to keep this from fading in the sun, I'm actually gonna add some Cerakote, which is like a trim coat, to coat this, and that'll keep it looking nice and clean. You know, it's not gonna fade, and it will be protected from like elements, sun, stuff like that. Procedure for installing this lip is pretty much the same for any lip, regardless of what kind you get. This one might be a little bit different just because it's, you know, a little bit more unique than what most people get. I think this one actually has like some weather stripping type of material that goes on like this side to keep it from like scratching the bottom of the bumper. But, you know, all lips for the most part are gonna have, you know, holes in the bottom that either line up with the pop clips on the bottom of the bumper, or you're just gonna have to, you know, drill some self-tapping screws. Probably what I'm gonna end up doing with this, because I think these came with a little kit of like some hardware. So I got some self-tapping screws in here, and you see like this little like weather stripping material. So that material goes on, I'm pretty sure on the sides of the lip to keep it from like scratching the bumper. Because, you know, this part up here, this goes pretty high up on the bumper itself. This part is going to be at the bottom, so you're not going to see it. It's probably easier if you do this with the car lifted up. So I'm just going to put the car up on jack stands so I got a little more space down there, because it's pretty tight. So this is a very rough idea of what it's going to look like. And you probably see a crap load of tape. The reason for that is, this is also masking tape, by the way, like painter's tape, the blue stuff. So the reason I use this tape is because masking tape or painter's tape won't damage the paint on the car. And whenever you're mocking up like body pieces, like, you know, like a front lip, side skirt extensions, which I'm going to do next, the rear spats, you want to mock them up so you have an idea of A, what it's going to look like roughly when it's on the car, and B, you want to make sure that the holes are lined up and that it looks lined up before you start drilling. So these look okay. You know, this piece is not perfect, so, you know, it does have some flex to it. So as I was trying to mock it up with the tape, you know, a lot of the tape kept coming off, especially on the sides. The sides stick up a lot because there's a lot of flex to it. Once I have it all bolted up and like screwed, like, you know, with the screws and stuff, it should be fine. But also another thing you could see is that car's gonna be a decent amount lower. Like, I don't know, maybe like an inch lower the car's gonna be, so that's gonna be fun. Another thing I did here is because this tape, you know, this piece is not holding up extremely well with masking tape. So what I did was I used my jack to actually hold up the middle. That way at least the center is, you know, centered. So now what I'm actually going to start doing is I'm going to get a drill bit, very small drill bit, and drill like tiny little holes. And then the way this mounts up actually is, so underneath the bumper, all the holes will line up with a piece of plastic that is, you know, where the bumper is. So basically, in the future, if I need to take off the bumper, the lip is going to come along with it, and the lip is not going to block any of the pop clips, so that's good. Oh, and there, that part just fell. It's a lot easier. You have somebody hold it up as you know, align it and start drilling the holes. Basically, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the jack, and I'm going to get the center of the lip, you know, get that exactly where I want it to be. Because once you start drilling, you don't want to be drilling multiple holes. You only want to make one hole for each mount, and you don't want to make the holes too big because they won't get secured properly. On the front of the, or in the middle of the lip, you have these big holes here. There's one here, and these line up with the stock bumper. There's like 2 holes that line up there. So it looks like you use some pop clips. I tried using pop clips, but they weren't big enough. They didn't really secure anything. So what I did was I went to the hardware store and I got I think this is a 1/4 inch bolt. Got some washers and a nut. I don't remember what specs these are, so I'll look them up and then put them on the screen. But basically what I'm gonna do is from the bottom of the bumper, I'm gonna put in a bolt of the washer like this. It's gonna go through the bumper, through the lip, and then on the top side of the lip, I'm gonna use another washer and then the nut to secure it. So there's only 2 that I'm using for this, which are the ones in the middle. For the rest of the mounts, I'm gonna try to use the screws that came with the lip. Looking good so far, guys. So I got the 2 bolts in there. And if I didn't mention, make sure you get stainless steel bolts and hardware, because you know they're gonna be exposed to the elements and stuff, so you don't want them to rust over. So as I mentioned, here's one of the bolts. Ideally you want the threads facing upwards, but I got bolts that are a little bit too long, so I need to get shorter ones. But temporarily, I think this should be good. I don't think this is longer than the edge of the lip, but basically I got this one secured, this one secured. So now you'll find little holes. See one here, here, along the sides as well. So here is where you're gonna drill little holes and then put the screws that came with the car, with the kit. I'm gonna do this for now, but eventually I think I'm gonna switch to having all of them be bolted washers, because if I hit something, let's say I hit something like a rock or something that's too low, this part here will protect the lip and keep it from like ripping off, because I have the washers and the bolts on both sides securing it. So this will keep it from flying off. The screws though, they're only gonna be mounted from the bottom up. So a hard enough impact could just pull them out. So it's not super secure. And also, like, you know, I just installed this lip. I don't want it to fly off and break or something. So yeah, I'm gonna use the hardware that came with temporarily, and then I'm gonna switch to bolts, nuts, and washers. So I got the front part supported. Now I'm moving on to the side mounting area. So you guys can see here, I'm in the wheel well. So I just turned the wheel, so I'm working on the right side. So I turned the wheel to the left. Gives me a little bit more space so that I can work here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically pull the lip. So pull the lip to where I want it, like, you know, the position that I want it in. Hold it there, and then start drilling the holes. And then for this side, I'm gonna do 2 holes. One somewhere near the top,
one closer to the bottom. And you're gonna notice that when this lip is mounted, you're gonna have like, I don't know, like ½ an inch gap from the bottom of the bumper to the bottom of the lip. So this lip is not supposed to go all the way up. It's literally impossible, so don't even try. So on this specific lip, you're gonna have about ½ an inch, about an inch gap from the bottom of the bumper to the bottom of the lip. And I'll show you guys what that looks like after I have it mounted. So I finally got the lip on. It looks incredible. It is so aggressive. Now the only thing I need to do is put my side skirt extension, because the front lip sits a little lower, as I said, which, let me just walk around here and show you guys. Okay, so my finger right here, so let's see, right here, this is where the rear bumper ends. The lip ends here. So you got about, yeah, I would say about ½ an inch. Let me check the other side, make sure they're even. Yeah, about ½ an inch, I would say, roughly. Hopefully this side doesn't sit a little too low. I wasn't really checking when I was mounting the side portions of the lip, so hopefully I don't have one side that's lower than the other. That would suck. Overall, this looks pretty dope. Do yourself a favor, wash your car before you do this. That way you don't have like a nice clean lip with a dirty car. It doesn't go well. And then for mine, my bumper is really scratched up and stuff, like, so it's not perfect. So it looks a little weird with a clean lip, and then you have like partially damaged bumper, but whatever. But yeah, guys, I'm in love with this. I'm gonna pull the car out just to see how low it sits. There was 2 screws that I didn't use. So there's one that goes in the corner right here. Honestly though, I was like seeing if I mounted it, if it would do any difference. It doesn't. Like the lip's already pressed up against the bumper, so it's basically just extra support. But where the hole is situated, I couldn't fit my drill. Like the drill's too thick, so I couldn't like get in there, so I just left it. Let's hope it doesn't fly off. Fitment is like, I would say 85%. Like on this side, you can see I have a little like gap. It's not crazy. Like if you push it here, it's nice and flush, but you know, this is plastic material. It's not OEM. You know, it's not gonna be perfect. It's gonna flex a little bit, so whatever. Same thing with here at the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see, I have like a little gap, and I can't really. I would have to lift this portion up. I don't know if I really can do that though, but that's what the rubber seal is there for, to try to, you know, help. So we'll see if that becomes an issue. I'll, you know, resolve it. Same thing with this side. Got a little gap here. You know, if I push it in, it works fine. But I'm not gonna drill in from here and then just have a random screw sticking out. It's not gonna look good. I don't want to do that. And then right here at the bottom, so this one is a little bit better. Oh, no, actually, there's a little bit of hole. So fitment's not 100%. It's like 85%, I would say. But at least everything else is like even. Like everything lines up. Like for example, this curve here lines up with the curve on the OEM bumper. Same thing with here. And I love those little like rear spat extensions that come off. They make the car look so aggressive. So yeah, I'm gonna lower the car now and pull it out into the driveway and take a look at it, see what it looks like. Guys, I have the car out here in the sun, and I know it's kind of hard to see because of the sun, but I think it came out really nice. I'm loving the way this lip looks.
and I'm so glad that I coated it before putting it on, so it's like super shiny, and also it's hydrophobic. Oops, sorry, something fell on me. So yeah, it's water repellent. It seals from the sun, so you know you don't have to worry about UV rays like damaging it. Yeah, guys, not too difficult of an install. One thing to note, just make sure that when you're mounting the side portions, see on this side it's a little bit straighter, and this one's actually like slightly higher up than on the opposite side. This one kind of like curves in a little bit more, so I think I pulled in the bottom side a little too much. It's not super noticeable unless you like, you know, start to nitpick, but I notice it. So just something to know when you're mounting these side screws, try to mount them evenly. Yeah, guys, looks really good. Now all I need to do is put on my side skirt extensions, because I have the rear spats, I have the front lip, and then nothing in the middle, so it looks kind of naked. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.